Okay.
You're good.
Okay, believe it or not, this is the last Thursday night of the zman, which I know is hard to believe. I know. I had the same feeling too, which I think leads us to the our topic, which tonight is going to be Nirtz Hashem, reflecting on our past zman, as well as focusing on being a zman and how to do it right. So first thing first is we have to give ourselves a big Yasher Koyach. Everyone should give themselves a pat on the shoulder and watch themselves do it to themselves. Make sure you're doing it. Perfect. Everyone's doing it so nicely. Very good. And appreciating the fact that we just went through the last 5 months. This was not a small zman. This was a big zman. This was the biggest that they have in the year. And I don't know that anyone has ever had a zman where they've been learning at this level, ever. So that is a big Yasher Koyach. Sadly, I'll tell you a question I got the entire week. Mamish, entire week I got this from so many different people that I decided it had to be mentioned in the Schmooze, which was, the question was, everyone said to me, are you guys off already? And I said, what do you mean? I'm assuming there's no, in fact, someone in the mirror even said to me, I assume there's no Schmooze this week because, I'm assuming that all the guys are, escaped and far, far away already. And I was amazed that it's become like the window. Thank you very much.
You just close the window.
Yeah, the birds are chirping and we're picking it up on the recording. That's how good our things are. The kids it's become like the norm that the zman ends, Purim comes and zman's over. And b'chaz Hashem, it's rare to say that Baruch Hashem, all of us are here. Well, here, meaning in yeshiva. No one has left, and it's the last week's zman, and there's a war going on. And I think that's a tribute to what the yeshiva is trying to do. But honestly, the Bachram, I told the people, I said, the Bachram Bayas are not trying to escape. The people aren't trying to run away. I think that's real. As a chance to also reflect back on the zman, really everyone should make you don't do it right this minute, but at some point now or being a zmanim, to think about what you accomplished over the zman. Whether that's in, so many different things you could focus on, and if you can't remember it, then look at your notes. Try to remind yourself of what you did this zman. And obviously what things that could have gone better. Which things could I have done differently in my schedule that just didn't go the way it was? Those starim that I, whatever it was in my schedule. Things in my schedule that just did not go kifi what I wanted to do. And that's a great chance to look at that and figure out what can I do differently. Very often we think everything, hopefully not, but very often there's a common feeling of we think, okay, everything's going great, so there's no reason to really reflect back on the past. The Chavetz Chaim gives a mashal of, so today this is hard for us to relate to because there's Sfarim everywhere and there's Sfarim stores everywhere, but there was a time when it was hard to come across Sfarim. And it wasn't easy, and there was one in a town, one town at a whole shop. Anyways, there was an almana who put up a sign saying that her husband passed away, and he was crazy about Sfarim, had a whole house full of Sfarim. You know this mashal? Unbelievable. This must be one, okay. Anyways, and there was a whole house full of Sfarim. And so she says, whoever wants can come in and check this out. And there was one yeshiva that was very, very excited because they literally had no Sfarim, and they really could use, Gemaras that are, nice, have a set of Shas and a set of, another set of Shulchan Aruch and whatever they needed. So the heads of the yeshiva come to her house and they start going through her Sfarim for a couple hours. And finally at the end, they said to her, okay, this is what we're taking. And it was like a couple of Chumashim, a couple things here and there, and very few Sfarim. And she was shocked. She said, I don't understand. My husband had this huge library. What are you guys doing taking only so little? I thought you guys were going to take a lot. And they said, they didn't know how to break it to her, but the Sfarim, these were the only ones who were actually complete Sfarim. A lot of them were missing. There were things in the back. Some of them were missing, didn't even have the riff and the rush in the back, and some were missing this, and there were pages missing from this Chumash. And the kids said, that's all we could get from it. So the Chavetz Chaim says, who had been by us, by the end of our lives, and here by the end of his zman, you could think about, there were things that were missing. We're not perfect. We didn't have a full set of the Shas. There were things that were missing. And it's all something to be real about, and to chap, and to try to figure out what is it that we could take on and change for next month. It's also, another thing I was thinking about at the end of his zman, is a great time to think about and appreciate the sviva, which means the environment that we are in. Because when you go outside of the Daled Kaisle Beis HaMedrash and you're outside of yeshiva, so very often it's a reminder and makes you appreciate how much what we have here. In yeshiva, it's rare. We don't chap because we're so used to it and we take it for granted. But we don't realize that in yeshiva, you're around people who all day are trying to figure out how to grow in their avodas Hashem. People are trying to figure out how to work better on their davening, whether they're bringing tzliach or not. But that's what's on their mind. How can I get this extra seder in? People are asking questions. How can I get an extra seder of learning in? Because I'm learning too much. Like, this is the focus of what we're all doing here. And most people in the world, most people in Klal Yisrael are not so good to have such a thing. Most people are not learning, believe it or not. And therefore, we appreciate and chap that not everyone has what we have. So with that in mind, I want to take us to Bein Zmanim. Bein Zmanim, whether you're here or there or not here, for those going away for sure, and for those who are not, you're not going to be in the same environment. First of all, there's no Seder Hayom. There's no Seder to your day. That automatically causes things to be very, very complicated. There's a lot more challenges and distractions when you're not in the base medrash, and there's a lot more things going on. You're also around a lot more different types of people, like we just discussed. Not everyone's trying to go to the same goals that we all have. And very often I find this is something I've seen from year to year, is there are so many people who look forward to Bein Zmanim in the beginning, and then at the end of Bein Zmanim, it's always the same feeling of like, that was horrible. I just can't wait to get back to yeshiva. So I'm trying to figure out, why does that happen? What is it about Bein Zmanim that we look forward to? We're so excited to have this break because we want to breathe again. But then afterwards, people are so upset about it. So then what was it? What was the excitement about? And what happened afterwards that we're upset that the way it went? And why do we even have Bein Zmanim? If it sounds like a setup for failure. Like, we have this beautiful situation. Why not just do the whole? I get people need a break, so take a break here and there. But why do we have a whole month? We're just off. I think I said to somebody recently, I don't remember who. I said, "L'havdil by the Amish." So hopefully no one Amish is watching this. Okay, that they have that special year. I don't know the term what it's called. Okay, they have a year. I have a relative who knows Amish pretty well. Don't ask how. And they turn 18, I believe. They have a year off where basically kol haTorah kula, whatever they used to know and hold of, they have a year off to try everything out in the world out there, and then they try to see if then they have the choice afterwards if they want to come back. So Bein Zmanim is not that. People sometimes think Bein Zmanim is where we just, it's a free-for-all. In fact, I remember one relative saying to me that, he's like, you're not allowed to learn now, right? Because it's Bein Zmanim. I think he was joking half, but also kind of what are you doing learning? So I want to speak out what Bein Zmanim is and what we're trying to accomplish. So Reb Gifter actually said something very chashuv many, many years ago. Tells that he said, the whole zman is a hachana for Bein Zmanim. The whole zman, we're actually preparing just to have a good Bein Zmanim. That was his way of looking at it. And he said, he said another thing, which is that Bein Zmanim is an amazing litmus test to see how your zman was. A guy who had a good zman, his Bein Zmanim is different Bein Zmanim. A person who didn't, his Bein Zmanim is not the same Bein Zmanim. So you could see from a guy's Bein Zmanim. It's pashut, you could see from a person, is he a different person or no, he's just his zman wasn't whatever. A person has a different Bein Zmanim, which is a great, amazing achrayus for us, wherever we're going to be. It's an amazing achrayus for us that we have to put ourselves in the best situation that we can to have a good Bein Zmanim. Rav Pincus points out, is very, very geshmak with this parsha. He says, Vayakel-Pekudei, Kadosh Baruch Hu, everything's with b'siyata d'shmaya. Why does this always end up with Bein Zmanim? Vayakel-Pekudei is right before. So he says, he has the kasha. Why do we even have the parshios of Vayakel-Pekudei? We just did Truma Tetzaveh. We know about all the kelim of the Mishkan, and we also know about all of the big day kahuna. So why do we have Vayakel-Pekudei to go through everything again? In fact, Rashi even says, everything I just said to you is really, I mentioned earlier in Parshas Truma Tetzaveh. So what's the point of the whole parsha? So Pincus points out that one was with the tzivoy of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Truma Tetzaveh, where HaKadosh Baruch Hu telling us, V'atzu li mikdash, make for me mikdash, make for me this kli, make me menorah, do it for me a shulchan. And then there's vayasu or vayas kasher asa that we performed, our actual performance. How did we perform? He says that's the zman and that's Bein Zmanim. The zman is a tzivoy. Everything's perfect. You're here. You're in a base medrash. People are around you. People are trying to steig with you. You have a rebbeim. You have your friend. Everything's going kifi. Everything's with the tzivoy. There's no challenge there. But how do you actually perform when you're by yourself? How do you perform when you're not in that tzviva, when you're on your own? No one's really watching you to see are you actually there's no positive energy like that to make sure that you're, staying aligned. He says that is bein zman. So I think to answer our question that we just started with, what is the purpose? Why do we have bein zman in Bechlal? It's a chance, it's actually very exciting, but it's a chance to create an identity for yourself of who am I? What am I trying to be? Is this just because everyone's around me, that's why I do it, and that's why I learn, that's why I daven? Or no, I'm actually looking to daven and learn because I want to do that, because that's me. And if you're scared by the answer, that's okay. But you have to put yourself in it. You want to make yourself. If you have this mindset before going into bein zmanim, then you can stop yourself from having the slippery slope that happens so often. We can ask ourselves, bein zmanim is a great chance to see how is my tefillah, how is my learning, what are my conversations like? Do I represent the ben yeshiva or now bein zmanim is different? I'm a different guy now. Am I ben yeshiva or am I yedid hamelech? Just wanted to add that in, put that on here. Okay. So I wanted to just give some practical, these are going to be very practical tips, which I call the 3 T's. So hopefully you'll remember that or you go over this bein zmanim, which is Torah, tefillah, and time, using your time well. So in terms of learning, just really practical things, I was trying to think what would make someone have a productive bein zmanim and still be a human being and relax, but also, to come back with with a renewed energy. So for learning, I find something that's extremely helpful is making a goal. Have a goal for yourself that's attainable, right? That not where I'm finishing kol shas in bein zmanim, which, right? They always say that the people on flights and on bein zmanim think that they're finishing shas. So, right, you go before the flight, it's always like, yeah, I'm going to literally go through the entire shas this flight. Or bein zmanim, I'm going to be coming out like, somehow the whole zman you went into bein zmanim, you're going to no, it has to be a normal goal. It's attainable, something that you can do. Yes, I've done it many times. I've had many upsetting flights afterwards. I'm like, I didn't even open the chumash. But it has to be normal, attainable, something that can be done. And make it something that's enjoyable for you. Doesn't matter what it is. If it's chazara, if it's new mesechta, if it's going over all the the siman that we did here in Basar B'chalav, great. Another thing, make a kavua zman for it. Obviously, bein zmanim, things change and you can't control every single day. But if you make a zman that you set up, okay, I'm going to give myself this hour and a half, 10 a.m. to 11:30 every morning. So Baker, if you hold on strong to that, it will do worlds for you. Just have a little bit of seder to your day. And obviously, the best is if you can get a chavrusa. That's not everyone's zeicha to that for many reasons, practically where you are, or learning the same thing that you want. But if you get that, that's incredible. I mean, that's like a game changer because then you have someone who's there. But if you don't have a chavrusa, something I thought about recently is that you can be mechayiv yourself. You make an achrayus. You could tell a rebbe, a friend, or someone that I want you to be. Can you be accountable for me? Once every couple of days, check in with me. How did I stick to my schedule? Am I sticking to what I'm doing? It's a great way to state to be mechayiv yourself, and someone will keep tabs on you. Okay, now klape tefillah. So it's funny because people think bein zmanim, my tefillah, how is my tefillah going to get any better? But it's actually very interesting. Bein zmanim, I find for myself, and I think heard this from many people, is their tefillah is actually enhanced and made stronger during bein zmanim than during the zman. Now, why is that? Because unfortunately, during the zman, we're so busy. We're constantly on the go because our days are so crazy. We have very little, sometimes we're just running into the next davening, running the next minyan, and trying to get the minyan until we get to my next chavrusa. But by bein zmanim, where you're have a time to step back, try to make your tefillah have a minyan to go to. For sure, no question about it, daven with a minyan. Choose a minyan kavua. If you can get to a minyan that's not going to be this one, that time, today it's going to be this time, choose a time that works for you. It could be whatever time you decide. If you're a Nate's guy, great. If you're a late guy, that's also great. But choose a minyan that fits your schedule, that will enable you, and then once you have that kvias, it helps a lot. And lastly, if you're not as busy during the zman, so then be there on time. It'll change your tefillah. Those 5 minutes, which is Parshat getting there on time or being even early, it will actually change your tefillah instead of running in every single time 3 minutes late, and then it's just not the same. And now, the last T, time. Using your time well. Just Parshat, be productive. It's not, bein zmanim is a great time to breathe, be a human being, do what you want to do, but be productive. Don't just sit on the couch wasting time and then you feel horrible about yourself. In the moment, you feel great because it's okay, I'm relaxing. And afterwards, the day's over, and you're just like, oh man, like I just didn't really do anything today. But I'll probably do that tomorrow also because it just feels good. It's a horrible, afterwards you just feel like, what did I, maybe Baruch Hashem Sabra saying that they don't know what that means. Good, for you not. Some of us, whatever. So, and that feeling is something which you don't want. And it's a good thing to get, you could also just be involved in good things. Like, if it's not in learning, so if you're going home or not, if you're home, so there's a great chance to actually do things around your house for your family. We're not sure, we're working on your flight. We're working on it. If we can get you there to LA, we're trying. If we can, so then when you get there, you could be helpful to your parents, your grandparents. Do things that are productive. If they need you to get groceries, do something that will keep you busy in a good way. Maybe not. For an avrich, we call avrechim here, Hashem. So if you're an avrich, so for your wife and your children, this is also for down the line, Bez Hashem, not down the line, Bekar of Mamish. So it's for your wife, be there. How often do you actually get to spend time with your wife and your children? Right? You're always here learning, so it's a great chance.
Who?
How often do you get to be helpful to your wife and your children? Who?
He's saying who's the wife and kids.
Oh, sorry. Oh, wow, so slow. I feel so bad now. It was a very cute line. Yeah, that we're going to have to cut out. I can't be that slow. That looks so slow of me. Well done. That was so embarrassing. Okay. I can't believe that just happened. I was like, was I saying... Okay, doesn't matter.
To be honest with you, I didn't copy it.
Okay, good. Thank you. And get things done that you couldn't... There's always things that you can't get done during this month because you're so busy. So do it now. Now is a great time to get those things done now. Like anything you have to get done, whatever it is a great chance. And then lastly, there's just a chizuk, is don't forget who you are. I'm not going to say it again. You did a Melech line again because it's too cheesy now. But don't forget that you're part of the yeshiva. Very often people feel, the second you step on a plane, sometimes people feel, okay, like now I'm on my own type of thing. No, you're not. If you want to keep the chizuk alive, and you want to keep it, remember that you're still representing, you're part of a klal. This tzibur here is a klal, a huge klal. Look at this. So that is something which is you're representing a tzibur. Okay, I got you there. Okay, good. That you're representing a tzibur, and you're going with all the limud that you just said. You're going with all the tazes, the shachs, the beis yosefs, the ramaz that you did are with you. They're with you, and you're going as part of the yeshiva. And people are looking at you. They're trying to gain from you, and you're not. Even though you might not realize it, you might feel okay. Like, what am I? No. So many people are not zeichet to be in yeshiva, especially for a third, fourth, whatever how many years we've been here. And that's something which we represent. We're giving that's something we are giving over to the tzibur. So my bracha is we should have a mutzlach tika ben zmanim, and we should come back even more stronger than we were before, and recharged and ready for a gishmak next zman. B'ez Hashem.
Amen.